All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back at it. It's Saturday, and I'm hoping that I can persuade you to hit the like button and get this done so we can get the ball rolling. Because it be playing. One video, it put in. The next video, it take out. Yeah. And then it's taking away views. All the kind of things that YouTube does when they want to suppress you. Yeah. But if you just hit the button, you did your part, I did my part, ain't nothing else we can do about that, baby. Yeah, let's go.
Hold on 1 second. We about to get to the bottom of this, ladies and gentlemen. This don't make no sense whatsoever. Welcome to the Dark Waters channel, where we explore mysteries, figure out the truth, dive into politics, and anything else you want to know about. That's what we doing over here, baby. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. I still ain't calmed down yet, but I'm back. And today, in this moment in time, I just want to touch upon some things that I think you should see that are going on right now. We know that the Democratic Party has been in a war, and they are, imagine them being a surrounded little army of loudmouth people, because that's essentially what the Democratic Party is. They're a small army of loudmouth people, and they like a pack of dogs, little bitty dogs that bark real loud. That's where they at. And if you get that pack surrounds you, they'll eat you alive. But at this point in time, they are surrounded, and now they are fighting against each other. And now the little pack over here is fighting the little pack over there. And then every now and then they'll get together and they'll stop barking. They'll be like, hey, they're about to do something to us. And they'll all bark in the same direction. But the Democratic Party is full on going through destruction. And somebody will say, DW, I used to like your old content. You know, but I don't find this intriguing. Well, intrigue your ass somewhere else. Yeah. Intrigue your ass somewhere else. That's real simple. There's plenty of intriguing people who can cover what you want to cover. I wanted to address that because it's like there's this pressure campaign on trying to put pressure on me. Man, I wish you would cover what you used to cover. No, carry your ass over there and watch what them people provide for you in that field. Yeah. They so good. Go listen to it. They tell the truth. Go listen to their truth. They such great researchers, such groundbreaking researchers. They should be able to handle that. You should be satisfied with what's in that field. I want to be clear. Yeah. You should be satisfied because them people that good. Well, if they're not that good, then I don't know what to tell you. You might want to get a new hobby. It's demonized anyway. The sacrifice of that field is disrespect, fear, anxiety, and strife. Yeah. So go and make the sacrifice. Stay in that field. I don't want to make that sacrifice. Make another sacrifice. I got other things to do. Now back to this Democratic war. I had to set that crap straight. Because every video I put out, you ain't gonna be like, I don't like this. Why don't you cover this? Now I'll carry your ass over there and listen to them people. All right. Let's get this straight. We got 100 days that Trump has been in office. And in this 100 days that he's been in office, we've seen so much turmoil for the Democratic Party. It's ridiculous. But I want to pull out one person as the spotlight. This person is John Fetterman. Now, John Fetterman now is getting ready to get attacked. He's in the process. They launched this attack Saturday. I need you to understand, any attack that's launched on Saturday is kind of like a preemptive strike going into the next 2 weeks. So he gets hit this week, right? Let watch. Let's go to Red State and see. New disturbing report about Fetterman's health raises big questions. Now, how in the hell is there a disturbing report about Fetterman's health when we know Fetterman had a full-on stroke? And they kept Fetterman in the White House. They kept him in Congress when he had a full-on stroke. Remember Fetterman when he first came in? Homie had a full-on stroke. They rolled him around in a wheelchair. You would think he had just one stroke. Bada bing, bada boom. They kept him. He was voting. They had people in his office doing something. So when you see a news article like this come out on a Friday evening, late Friday, 4:30, you have to say to yourself, whoa, slow down, Nelly. What the hell is going on? New disturbing report about Fetterman's health raises big questions. Well, Fetterman is a Democrat. And Fetterman has been a Democrat that's kind of like a moderate Democrat. Why is someone launching an attack on Fetterman. Is it a Republican? No, it's a Democratic Party. And so then you start looking, you get to searching. You got to search, man. You start searching. And then it leads you to why Fetterman getting attacked. And show it to you right here. Watch this. I'm going to show you why Fetterman getting attacked. Watch this. Watch this. Play the video.
How about giving him a beeper?
See who Fetterman with right now? See who he with? And Yahoo.
Now this is a silver-plated beeper. The real beeper is like 1/10 the weight. It's nothing. Really? Yeah, but it changes history.
You know, when that story broke,
yeah,
and I was like, oh, I love it, and now it's like, thank you for this. Yeah, no, all right, no, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's why Fetterman been hit. Yeah. That's why Fetterman been get hit, because Fetterman is a moderate that supports Israel and that had the nerve to shake the hand of Netanyahu. And you got to realize the radical leftist party of the Democratic Party, they don't like Israel. No, they want to free Palestine. They want free Palestine. So when you see all this coming down the pipeline on Fetterman, they about that, and they outlining everything they're going to attack. Fetterman faces new spotlight on health, family drama, sparking online uproar. Let's read the article to see if there's any actually drama, right? A new expose about Senator John Fetterman's time on the Capitol set social media ablaze. The report raised questions about alleged tensions with his wife, Ghislaine, over her health regime, his stance on Israel. I ain't read the article. It's really simple. And her reported run-ins with his staff. In all by himself, Fetterman insisted he's in good health, but staffers past and present say no longer recognize him as the man he once was. What? He had a stroke when he first came in office. What? You see what I'm saying? But we supposed to be that damn dumb. DW, you know what you're talking about. Yeah, I understand. Let's go back. Let me go to YouTube. Let's look at Fetterman's stroke.
So we have some breaking news coming into us from one of the most high-profile Senate races in the country right now, and that is the one going down in Pennsylvania. This coming from the Democratic candidate and the Pennsylvania Lieutenant Governor, John Fetterman. We are just now, remember, Fetterman suffered a stroke, essentially right before the primaries. His doctor, now hearing from his doctor, saying that Fetterman has had an AFib, has something called cardiomyopathy, a heart disease that makes it harder for the heart to pump blood. He says in 2017, he first checked out the Lieutenant Governor, John Fetterman, had prescribed medications along with improved diet and exercise and asked him to follow up again.
All right, let's be clear. The man had a stroke before he was elected. Say it again, Little Line Lady on MSNBC. This is when they were covering for him. Listen.
So we have some breaking news coming into us from one of the most high-profile Senate.
I'm going to start holding my face still like that when I talk. I'm going to get a haircut today, and I'm going to come back tomorrow. And tomorrow I'm going to put on a black suit. Well, I'm not putting on a whole suit. Put on a black suit jacket, put on a black shirt. I might bling bling on y'all tomorrow. I'm thinking about blinging. I haven't blinged in a long time. I might do a little blinging. But I'm going to start doing what they do. Tonight on News Today, John Fetterman, blah, blah. They don't move their body at all.
Senate races in the country right now. And that is the one going down in Pennsylvania. This coming from the Democratic candidate and the Pennsylvania Lieutenant Governor, John Fetterman. We are just now, remember, Fetterman suffered a stroke, essentially right before the primaries. His doctor, now hearing from his doctor, saying that Fetterman has had an AFib, has something called cardiomyopathy, a heart disease that makes it harder for the heart to pump blood. He says in 2017, he first checked out the Lieutenant Governor, John Fetterman, had prescribed medications along with improved diet and exercise and asked him to follow up again, and then adds Fetterman did not go to any doctor for 5 years and did not continue taking his medication. We are also hearing from Lieutenant Governor himself in a statement saying, I didn't do what the doctor told me, but I won't make that mistake again. He says, I should have taken my health more seriously. I want to bring in now our NBCnews.com senior national digital reporter, John.
All right, I just want to make it clear that there was a time period where they was covering for Fetterman. So let's go back to the article and let's read the article. The article says, come on, get back to what the people were saying. And all by myself, John Fetterman says he's in good health, but staffers, past and present, say they no longer recognize him, the man that he once was. New York Magazine Intelligence lays out recollections from current and former staff members who worked for Pennsylvania Democrat May 2022. Fetterman suffered a serious stroke in mid-Senate race against Dr. Mehmet Oz. Dr. Oz was running as a conservative. He was running as as a Democrat. The article relates several reported instances, including February 23 situation at the Democratic caucus retreat at the Library of Congress. So as of right now, this is sure just purely a hit piece. Purely a hit piece. And I'm going to tell you why he's getting hit, because when you read the news, they're going to even lay out the hit. Fetterman takes a swipe at AOC. So AOC, the hardcore progressive, is attaching Fetterman and making sure they're attacking Fetterman because he had some way of supporting Israel, and he's a moderate. And so it's the AOC wing of the Democratic Party attacking Fetterman. Why? Because actually, outside of him having a stroke, he's probably one of the most people who talks like he got a little bit of common sense in the Democratic Party. That is the Democrat war that we are looking at, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you read through the news and you find the truth. It's not that hard. But watch this. This is where it gets worse for the Democrats. I don't like this trend. You shouldn't like this trend. But you got to understand, people are fleeing every blue city, going to any place that's red. I got friends in Alabama, right? Outside Mobile, Alabama, that little area. And you talk to them, and they like, man, these damn liberals, they done got here, James, and they everywhere. The liberals are everywhere. And they bring that same liberal mentality. They're the most important person on the planet. Nobody else matters but them. And they bring it into that area, and they overwhelm that area with that behavior. It's exportation of demons. It's not like the demons that they came in agreement with just stayed in California, or the demons stayed in New York, or the demons stayed in Maryland. No, them demons rolled on their backs like a backpack. You know what I'm saying? Like early Kanye West with the backpack rap. Just rolled on their back and just plopped down in a new state. And then the demons looking around next door. They pray next door. Oh, hell. They pray next door too. What we gonna do? I don't know, man. We got to get more people in this neighborhood so we can, all right, let's turn the kids in the neighborhood into something. All right, they got a school up the street. Let's go to the school and let's get with somebody at the school, and we got to find a way to bring down the hedges around this neighborhood. Yeah. This is the problem with the collapse of the blue cities. As those cities collapse, they export demons out of their cities. And next thing you know, it's time to vote. And then you have all the liberals lined up in a conservative area voting for a Democrat. They don't learn that, hey, the reason why you had that outcome is because of your voting. No, they come, well, no, it's not my fault. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to vote for Democrat. And then they do it again. And they're going to destroy the next area because they are a plague. They're plague. Let me go. Let me stop. Come on, open up. Open up.
Yes, let's go ahead and bring in Republican New York Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis. She serves on the House Ways and Means Committee. Congresswoman, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. So look, this is yet another incident of somebody who shouldn't have even been in this country in the first place, allegedly committing a heinous crime. This poor woman was burned so badly they still can't even ID her days after this. Mayor Adams wants federal charges in this case. Is that something you think would be appropriate here?
Well, I think federal charges could be very well appropriate here. I think the bigger issue is that we have this ongoing policy in the city of New York in which we're not cooperating with immigration and customs enforcement to remove people who are here illegally and dangerous. This is a horrific murder, and it has sent shockwaves throughout our city and the country, but certainly not.
This is that old murder. This is that old murder where the boy set that lady on fire. Let's just keep it real.
That we've seen this year
of
murders by migrants who are here illegally. And the fact that the city and the state has no plans to change the existing law, to cooperate, to restore ICE to Rikers Island. to ensure that we're cooperating to deport these individuals is very problematic.
Girl, you
in fact, what you're hearing from Democrats is the opposite, that they want to actually put in place more laws to prevent President Trump, his administration, Tom Homan, his border czar, from removing these dangerous individuals from our city and state. And so, sadly, I don't know what type of tragedy it will take for the people in this city, the Democrats who run our city and state, to actually wake up and see that something needs to change. And they should look at just what happened in this past election. 15% increase in a margin for President Trump, and a lot of—
All right, that's enough of you talking, because you brainwash people. The fact of the matter is this. Hold on, let me close this because it's going to pop up. Fact of the matter is this. It's these policies that are running people out of those states. According to a new study by a nonpartisan New York-focused Citizen Budget Commission, CBC, more than 150,000 residents reportedly fled New York for Florida between 2018 and 2022. So you got 150,000 damn demons. Blah, that just left to go to Florida, with about 50,000 leaving Florida for NYC. The Big Apple saw a net decrease of over 100,000 residents who took almost $14 billion in income along with them. Yeah, that's rich, liberal white folk. They came down to Florida and then bought up everything with their New York money. This is a part of an ongoing, years-long exodus of people from some of America's most liberal states, particularly in the aftermath of COVID-19 and the homelessness and economic issues that surged in its wake. Alex Tabb, the co-founder of entertainment tech startup Goblin Town, was one of many new Floridians who spoke to the New York Post about his motivations for leaving New York in the rearview mirror. He said people thought we were crazy when we were telling them this bit, but it just started getting more and more bleak in New York City, Tabb said. For the same price that we were paying for a 2-bedroom apartment in New York, we're getting a 5-bedroom, 4-bath house with a pool in our backyard. Yeah. But you bring in your liberal goblin demons. Let me read it over again. It just makes all the sense. Alex Tabb, co-founder of entertainment tech startup Goblin Town. Come on, man. Can your boy get any more accurate than he is? Can he get any more accurate than he is? Huh? Can I get any more accurate? I'm just trying to tell you the truth, homie. You know what I'm saying? Y'all about to make me unlock the force up in here. Not the dark force, the other force. About to unlock the force on y'all. Because it's clearly obvious what's going on. It's super obvious what's going on. My nose is a little bit stuffy all of a sudden. It's super obvious what's going on out here in these streets, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get back to the map. Back to the map. When you map it out, it's all right there. I kind of want to jump into China, but I feel like we should let China, we're going to let China cook for a little while. But I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you something. When this is done, the China trade war is done, we're going to let it cook. We're going to let it bake. You're going to see what Donald said. You're going to see what China said. And then we're going to watch what happened in China over the past 2 weeks by video, by one. And you will notice that China went from attacking the international brands where they were like, yeah, you know, the Fendi bag and the Hermes bag really cost $500, blah, 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 to people in the streets rioting and killing and murdering people because of the tariffs. But the news media won't tell you that because they're liars. They're liars. And I'm going to call them what they are. And YouTube, you be covering up for they lying behind. Yeah. You be covering up for them. You be highlighting the liars. So sick of y'all. Want to try and block somebody from getting some views while you highlight a bunch of damn liars. Yeah. Pelosi is in the spotlight too. So we got Fetterman, who got some sense. We got Pelosi, who's a rank devil, but Pelosi got some sense. This war of the Democratic Party, which I guess this whole video about to be about the Democratic war. The liberals are trying to take out everybody that has some sense. And what does it end up? What does that look like if they win? I mean, really, what does it look like? Think about it. What does it look like if the liberals win? It looks like the Democratic Party got high blood pressure. That's what it looked like. Yeah, the Democratic Party, as the liberals come into power, it's going to be a party with high blood pressure that's right on the edge of having a stroke and a heart attack. But they can't have the stroke and a heart attack, ladies and gentlemen, until we get to a major national election. But they're going to have high blood pressure. You're going to see the symptoms of somebody with high blood. They're going to be like, oh, man, I feel a little pain in my armpit. Oh, man, I feel a little dizzy. I feel that's the state that they're going to be in. The state of someone who has extreme hypertension, extreme high blood pressure. And then the minute the election starts is when they're going to have that heart attack or they're going to have that stroke. But you're going to have to watch them while they got that blood pressure. And they refuse to take the medicine. Fetterman is a form of medicine. You know what I'm saying? Pelosi, as wicked as she is a form of blood pressure medicine. But no, they ain't going to take the medicine. They're not going to take it. They won't take it because they crazy. Demonized rank devils.
Division among Democrats in Congress continues for all to see. And earlier this week, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer claimed his party is united. Is he blind?
Our caucus is united. Look at this. The Republicans on this upcoming caucus is united. Look at this. The Republicans on this upcoming reconciliation bill, which sets the funding for the whole government, they're fighting with each other. Compare that to the Democrats. We're totally united. We're totally united in
I guess you feel like if you just say it, it's the truth.
One of his colleagues said, nope. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders was asked about Schumer's comment.
You need an agenda. Did you hear? You're not united around what? Are we united around guaranteeing health care to all people? Are we united in tackling a corrupt campaign finance system? That is part of the old Democratic establishment. And they are interested in winning elections, which is very, very important. But in my view, you can't win elections unless you have something to say to the vast majority of the people in this country.
That was the Senate. It's no better on the House side. Axios is reporting Michigan Congressman Sri Thandar has Democrats fuming over his attempt to drum up support for his impeachment articles against President Trump. 4 Democrats briefly listed as co-sponsors have all withdrawn, and some said they only signed on because they thought they believed leadership was on board. A new op-ed from the Daily Caller titled, "Trump is making Democrats repeat the same fatal mistake," says in part, during Trump's first term in office and the campaign for his second, Democrats beat the same tired political drum. Trump is a fascist dictator, they said. Trump is Hitler, they said. Trump is ending American democracy. The Democratic base loved it. But normal Americans got sick of the doom-saying real fast. And Democrats, though, are doubling down, growing more inflammatory by the day, escalating their apocalyptic rhetoric, and in some cases calling for outright violence. Here's a taste.
America has 4 more years with Trump, and we must fight every single day.
We have to fight everywhere we can, in the institution, outside of the institution.
We can defeat Trumpism. There is nothing that can stop us.
It's time to fight everywhere and all at once.
Never before in my life have I called for mass protests, for mobilization, for disruption. But I am now.
These Republicans cannot know a moment of peace.
Power panel now. Cory Gardner is here, former Colorado Republican senator, and Mark Pryor, former Arkansas Democratic senator. Gentlemen, thank you very much for being with me. First of all, Senator Gardner, I'll start with you and this idea that there can be no peace as Democrats go forward. They're going to cuss. They're going to do whatever they can. They're going to shake it up. Does that win?
Well, thanks, Harris.
I'll answer that question for you. Democrats are freaking retards. They fight in bathtubs. They want violence, and then if real violence happens, they're going to cry and whine. They should be quiet. Democrats support the illegal aliens coming to every neighborhood there is. Democrats are full-on retards at this point in time.
Meantime, let's bring in...
Stop it. And I mean it in every, in every worst way you can say it. In every worst way. So this just confirms we have this warfare going on. And Bernie Sanders is an extreme leftist of the party, right? And then you have what's the dude name that wears glasses like this all the time? He look like he got an alien head. He do like this. The Democratic Party is in order. We are aligned together. So we got the old versus the left, the leftists. Bernie Sanders can't say that's the old version because he's behind his old. That's the extreme leftists against the kind of left. Now, the extreme leftists of the Democratic Party versus the establishment Democrat Party. One set, they're both thieves. They're both murderers. They're both liars. They're all the same in many cases, except for the extreme left is idealistic and believes everything. They believe all the stuff they say, which makes them more dangerous. The establishment, no, they don't believe none of that stuff. They say it and they want the money. They want that paper. You know, I'd rather deal with somebody who wants the money because I could cut a deal with somebody who would want the money, but a purist who believes that believes that pro-Hamas, like that they should be allowed to come into our country and march in the streets. No, I can't deal with you because you are fundamentally crazy. I can deal with somebody who I can bribe, somebody I can go back and forth with and hold a conversation. These extremists? No, that ain't how you deal with the extremists. And I want to bring up one more thing. I want to show you one more thing. Woo, baby. I want to show you one more thing. Feel like I've been talking a whole lot longer than I have been. But I ain't been talking nothing about. Let me get rid of this first. Let me go ahead and I want you to be red, baby. Make sure I don't talk about this later. So we hit on this. That is yellow. I want red. I don't want red. I want red. All right, we hit on that. We talked about that, right? We talked about the 100 days. We hit that. Let me see if I can find. This is why I'll be doing them X's. Yeah. This we didn't hit on. Now, I won't touch on this because there's a couple things we didn't hit on. We need to talk about Kilmore, but we need to talk about the judges real quick too. So you understand, Kilmore Abrega Garcia has been dismantled. The argument of Kilmore Abrega Garcia has been dismantled. It started with Democratic Party going there to look out for him, right? Then we roll into the issues of his ex-wife. Let me just put them in order for you. So we had the Democrats, get out the way. Come on, I'm gonna delete you. So you can see it. And this has been systematic. We had the Democrats, we're going down to stay until Kilmore comes home. I'm not leaving till Kilmore comes home, right? Then here comes the court documents, and they bring Kilmore's wife into the equation, right? Then they bring Kilmore's wife into the equation again. Then they bring out the evidence of Kilmore being a smuggler. So the Kilmore Abrega Garcia issue, if officially, has played itself out. What piggybacked off of Kilmore Abrega Garcia was all of these things that were happening with the judges. So while that's simultaneously going on, we have this judge. Let me zoom in. Yeah, hopefully y'all follow me, right? We got infamous Garcia. We're going to call him infamous Kilmore because he killed more. Infamous Kilmore. Let me in capital letters. Killmore. Not Kilmore. All right? So we got the infamous Kilmore going on. We got that popping off with him. But while Kilmore's going on, we got this other battle going over here with the judges. Right? And this has been escalating as well. All right? So let's watch. We get the arrest of the one judge, and then after she's arrested, we get Biden-appointed judge blocks Border Patrol from arresting suspects without a warrant. Then simultaneously, we get Travis County judge. Let me get the green off of that. Come on, get off that green because I want people to see it. Get off that. Let me just get all these. Edit undo. Then we get the Travis County judge slashed the bond of from 1.2 million for a foreign trucker who killed a family of 5, including the baby. Right after that, we get where the truck drivers have to be able to speak English, and they get fired. And then you see where 40,000 people got laid off from UPS, right? And then everybody's like, well, why would they lay off 40,000 people from UPS? It tells you they had 40,000 people who didn't speak English driving for UPS, bruh. That's why they laid off 40,000 people right after this. But nonetheless, it's crazy. All right. Then we get the judge that says, hey, I'm blocking Trump from deporting illegals out of Texas, right? And this is the judge that Trump appointed that says, yo, you can't use the Aliens Enemies Act, right? So then we get, and then we about to get juicy. Then we get revelation of the non-citizen who raped somebody. Then we get the 2 illegals who murdered some people and kidnapped some people, right? And then we get homegirl, the incestuous congresswoman who married her brother to get into America. She started cursing and screaming and getting mad. And then we get to the point. Now we at the point where Holman. Now we're at the point where Tom Holman comes in. Tom says, now we about to start arresting people. You saw that yesterday. You got to understand this tick for tack and where it's escalating to. Then we get this judge coming out and saying that, it wasn't an illegal alien stash house. It was where, families were. And then we hit the coup de grace. And I want you to understand, this coup de grace, let's just connect this and we connect this. This coup de grace, all the rest of this up here is escalation, escalating. Actually, the escalation started with this damn fool Kilmore. But all this is escalation. Response, escalation. This escalation right here is about to be a problem. I think we're going to see something off of this, but let me read it to you. Obama judge goes full theater kid, declares it unconstitutional for Trump to pull security clearances. All right? So she says it's unconstitutional for the president to pull security clearances. And this is the problem with wickedness. You got to understand, wickedness don't know when to stop. But let's keep on going. As a lower and district court judge continues to one-up each other with absurd usurpations of clearly stated executive authority, another contender has entered the ring. U.S. Judge Beryl Howell ruled on Friday night that President of the United States does not have the power to pull government security clearances from Perkins Coie, a private law firm. Yeah, that would be the same Perkins Coie that worked with the Democrats to gin up the Russian collusion hoax. In her order, Howell decided that, quoting, Shakespeare was appropriate. It is our judiciary is full of theater kids. In our guess, who wrote this? I guess our judiciary is full of theater kids. No American president has ever before issued executive orders like the one at issue in this lawsuit targeting a prominent law firm with adverse actions to be executed by an executive branch agency. But in purpose and effect, this action draws from a playbook as old as Shakespeare, who penned the phrase, the first thing we do, let's kill all the lawyers. All right, that shit's stupid. I don't know who wrote this. Who wrote this? Who at Red State Bonchi? First of all, your heading is wrong. Obama judge goes full theater. No. Obama judge goes full traitor and declares it's unconstitutional for a sitting U.S. president to pull security clearances and should be arrested is the title. You wrote this wrong. This is why I have to finish my damn website. Because the titles are wrong. The titles are too nice. The titles are too friendly. The title should be Full Retard Judge Goes Full Theater, Declares it Unconstitutional for President Trump to pull security clearances. Yeah, the title should be Obama Judge Farts in Bathtubs. That's what it should be. Obama Judge is Simple Jack. Yeah, that's why you need me in the media. That's why I need to finish what I'm doing. This is why the Lord been telling me, son, you need to sit down. We got to do A. We got to be, and I'd be like, yeah. Now, sit your behind down. Sit down and do it. Sit down and do it. But the point I'm making to you is this. It's escalation after escalation after escalation after escalation. We're getting ready to get to a point where something's going to have to be done about this. And when we get to the point where something's going to be done about it, you're going to see the liberals crying. You're going to see them crying. Now, I want to show y'all something strange and weird real quick. Let me see if I can find it. This is some weird stuff right here. You want to see some weird crap? Yeah. Patricia Griffin sent me this. You want to see something weird? Watch this. Let me make it big.
What the fuck?
And I be telling people keep watching the waters, man, but nobody want to listen. Yeah. I be telling people keep watching the waters. It's raining outside. It's lightning moving around. You ever wonder how they get these forest fires? Huh? You ever wonder how you get the forest fires? Yeah. You ever wonder how they get these forest fires? Yeah, you wonder what stuff be coming from. Now imagine that dropping down on the side of a mountain when it's dry, no rain. It's just dry. And then it just is DW is direct energy weapons. I mean, that's direct energy. Somebody talking about that's a ball of lightning. Don't no damn lightning roll around on the ground like that. Don't no lightning roll around. There's lightning that'll run down the street. Don't get me wrong. There's balls of lightning. They'll run down the street. But yeah, that wasn't no ball of lightning right there, boy. Yeah, that wasn't no ball of lightning right there, boy. Because lightning trying to find ground. Once it found ground, it's gone. Plenty of ground was all over the place. Could have grounded itself with a tree. Could have grounded itself with one of them cars. Well, really rubber, but you could have grounded itself plenty of time. That wasn't no lightning right there, boy. Yeah, keep watching the waters, man. Keep watching the waters, man. I'm out of here.